Yeah, Mikel.
Yeah.
Clearly Arsenal are the club of the invincibles. So I wondered if, and I think a lot of people think City might be a club that one day, this current City side might go through that one day. So is there a small celebration at Arsenal every year when Manchester City lose a game because you're still the invincible, you and Preston are still the invincible club?
It's great to have. I think it shows the achievement and the difficulty of that task because nobody else has been able to do it.
And the obvious question is, do you think it can be done now?
I don't know. 100 points, it was never done.
Yeah.
You know, and
they did it, but they still weren't in. That's the thing. I mean, it's like they've done 100 points, but they.
Yeah, but to do 90 or 100, I think it's more difficult to do 100, no?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
And to score the record amount of goals and clean sheets and all these things. But yeah, they are both great things to do, and yeah, the things are there to be broken. That's for sure. And probably one day somebody will do it.
And just lastly, they obviously are one of the great Premier League sides. 100 points. They've won the treble. Does that just show the changes you've made this summer? You keep having to improve. You've been quite ruthless in some of the changes you've had to make. Is that why you have to be so driven, because you are basically competing against possibly the greatest team or one of the greatest teams in Premier League history?
Well, they have set standards that nobody else has seen in this league ever. That's the reality. And with that level of consistency, ever. No team has done that in the history of the Premier League. That's unquestionable. So we need to seek to be the best, and to be the best, you need to be better than them. So you know where the temperature is and how much you have to raise it.
Yeah.
Mikel, not only Rodri will be missing on Sunday from the team from April, but also De Bruyne and also Gundogan. We touched on it earlier with Declan Rice, but how much is this an opportunity with those players being absent for Arsenal to really take control of the game in midfield, which is where it seemed to be won and lost before?
Well, they have, and we have as well. They would have other players. Certainly, that won't be a problem for them.
Speaking about one of those players, Julian Alvarez, was he a player that Arsenal were interested in signing? And since you didn't, is he the kind of player? Everyone looks at City's £100 million signings, but they got him for about £20 million, and he now looks like one of the best players in the league. Is he the kind of signing that Arsenal need to make, as well as the Declan Rice £100 million?
Yeah, for sure. Every player cannot be 100 million, but I think they made a big call with him, and he played that really well. He's having a really good impact in the team.
Well, one more. You talk about the standards being set by City. They're unprecedented. How much of that is down to Pep himself, and how much is it down to the organisation behind him? The point being that we've seen great managers like Wenger and Ferguson, and people, even with the coming in and following the same setup, haven't been able to achieve the same thing. So how much of it is down to him?
Well, since they started to build that project, the clarity and the ambition that they had, and you asked me about Pep, and I would say huge, because he took the standards, he took his idea with the board and ownership to a different level, and they've done it for a long, long time. So credit to them for what they've done, that's for sure.
Will replacing Pep be harder than replacing Ferguson or Wenger?
I don't know. I'm not the person to answer that question.
Might be you.
Okay, last couple. We'll go to Harry first.
I don't know if you've watched any of the Rugby World Cup or whether you ever watched that game. Last weekend they were talking about ex-managers were talking about how rugby managers sit in the stands, analyse the game, make calm, controlled decisions. I know it's a slightly different game, but big Sam Allardyce used to do it, and Steve McLaren for the first half. Could you ever see yourself enjoying sitting in the stands and watching it quietly and making decisions from there?
It feels like we're going to have a lot of managers in the stand this season, whether we like it or not. Yeah, I've done it from home. I haven't done it from the stand. Only against Everton when I signed, and I could not be there yet. But yeah, it might happen one day, and I will try to take the positives and learn from it as well, for sure.
But I mean, you wouldn't actually choose to go up there and watch a half to analyse it, because you obviously get a different view.
The view is much better, that's for sure. So yeah, it's something to really think about, because we have people that watches the game from that height, and it is very different. And Yeah, you don't know. I think it's when you feel it's the best for the team. It's like any other decision that you make. Maybe it's the right thing to do.
I mean, Pep didn't enjoy it last weekend, he said, at Wolves when he was having to sit in there. And obviously,
Yeah, but as you said, I spoke to Sam about it, and Sam was really comfortable to have, especially the first period there, and he took a lot of. And when you see when he explained the arguments and why he did it, it's just brilliant. You know, that's being ahead of the game as well, and managing yourself in a way that that can't make the team better.
And finally, we'll go to Davide from Gazzetta.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry, no.
Go.
No, I just,
Oh, sorry.
there was one other, artificial intelligence for linesmen is used, or semi-artificial, in Champions League games. Obviously, you're now playing that. Do you think that's something the Premier League could think about, to have slightly the robots as the linesmen, as people like to call them?
I think they are thinking about every possibility, and the intention is to improve the game. So I don't know how far we are from that, whether it will make it better or not, because we have tried as well quite a lot of things. But yeah, why not?
Thank you.
I'll go Davide from Gazzetta.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
You say Manchester City has set the standard. Obviously, they won the 3 last Premier League. Do you think you're up there yet?
No, because we haven't won any Premier Leagues. So from 0 to 3 in a row, or what they've done, we are very far.
So you need to win Premier League to be at their standard, not just this game or beat them. Like
Yeah, and not only win is the way, you know, and I'm playing that way every single game, and not only being in one competition, but in 4, you know, and we are not there, that's for sure.
Okay, Bob. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.